Biggest Oregon true road game since?
Ohio State?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and that was what? That was Cristobal, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Cristobal.
So this is Dan Lanning's biggest true road game.
Yes.
And that's not even close.
No. I mean, this is what?
We talked about this yesterday, but his biggest true he only has one true road win in the top 25 at Oregon.
Yeah.
And it was at Utah in 2023.
Also just 3 opportunities.
Right, 1 and 2.
So this is what, 6 versus 3, if I'm not mistaken?
That's correct.
So, I mean, yeah, this is huge.
What was Ohio State ranked that year? Was that 22 or 22? No, 21.
I think they were top 5, top 6 because
Were
that
they?
was C.J. Stroud, and they had all those great receivers, and I mean, that would, people.
Ohio State was 6. Oregon was 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the fact that this is 6 versus 3, and Penn State was picked to win the Big Ten, and I mean, this is supposed to be Penn State's year, and they haven't looked great in these first 3 games, but Ohio State was replacing so much, new quarterback. Ohio State replacing a bunch. Michigan's kind of fallen off, and Penn State brought everyone back. Hit the transfer portal hard. Allard came back. Both backs. I mean, this is supposed to be Penn State's year, and frankly, he just has not been able to get over the hump, and so I just think there's a lot of pressure. And then Oregon, we think Oregon is one of the best teams in the country, but haven't been tested. So, whiteout, primetime game. How could you? This is
good.
This is as good as it gets.
And I tell you, there's a lot of weird factors working against Oregon, but I'm not sure any of them really matter that much.
Yeah.
Like, Penn State on a bye,
Sure.
home, revenge,
Yeah.
Oregon not been tested. That's a tough place to have your first big true road game.
Yeah, for a lot of these guys.
For a lot of these guys, including Dante Moore. Like, they're in a tough spot here.
Yes.
But at the same time, we just heard that promo, the Dirt and Spray. I forget who they were talking to, but most people think it's pretty much even. Like, these two teams are.
Well, it's a 3.5 point spread, and it's at home, so you figure a neutral field, you're basically a pick'em game at this point.
So it's kind of a toss up, which is that this is the best kind of games.
Yeah.
I was reading about Drew Aller today, and he is the Penn State quarterback.
Yes.
And he was saying that he's overthinking things right now.
Yeah.
He's pressing a little bit.
I can see that.
Because they were talking about how in his senior year, the pressure, they had Greg McElroy on there, and he was talking about, they had a quote from him. He said, yeah, when you get to your senior year, Drew Aller has been there for 4 years.
Yes.
Which is very rare.
Has been a full-time starter for 3 of those years.
Yeah, and his is his senior year, and McElroy was talking about how when you get to that place and you're all this hype and you're expected to actually get over the hump your senior year, it creates a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And it sounds because time is running out, and it sounds like Drew Aller is kind of feeling that a little bit. He even said he's overthinking things and has in the first couple of games, but he said in this game, you just got to let her rip. Can you name this? This is where the trivia question comes in. It was from the same article.
Okay.
Can you name the only quarterback to stay 4 years at one school and win a title in his senior year? Now, this is only over the last 20 years.
God, 4 years, same school, and win a title.
His senior year. Now, there are other guys who have won a title, have played 4 years.
Sure.
At a school, or 5, and won a title before their last year. But this guy in particular was in the Drew Aller. He was in that same scenario of didn't get over the hump, and now it's the last run. A little bit obscure.
Now, is it a way back, or am I getting...
Well, last 20 years.
The last 20. Give me a hint. Is it the last I've got it.
It's a little obscure. It is not the last handful of years, but I mean, who won
playoff
title.
era or not?
What does that even mean?
I mean, was it when we had the playoff, or was it like BCS, just title game era?
No, it was before the.
Because I'm trying to think. So Burrow wasn't at LSU.
No.
Burrow's good. He won as a senior, he was a transfer.
He was a transfer. Stetson Bennett was a transfer at Georgia, and he won his senior year. But...
So let me give you a couple of guys. You have Tim Tebow. And this is not the answer to the trivia question, by the way.
Though.
But Tim Tebow would be a good guess. It's just that he won in his junior year. Matt Leinart, same thing. He won as a sophomore and then technically again as a junior. And then Ken Dorsey won in his third year, not his last year. This guy, that's the distinction with this guy. And there's only one.
Is it like a Troy Smith, maybe?
Ooh, that's a good guess.
No, but think that, like, think way back.
Way back.
Again, 20 years. So
20
2005 would be the first year.
Craig Krenzel?
Oh, that's
You're
good.
getting closer.
So it's yeah,
The right skin color.
He's a white guy.
He is a white guy.
An exciting white.
He did play in the NFL, but not very well.
God
Oh,
bless him, really.
AJ
You got it.
McCarron?
No, wrong.
Greg McElroy.
Wrong. You got the right conference.
Like one of the LSU guys.
Yep.
Ooh.
Who the dude? I always forget who won.
Oh,
there. Did
Matt Flynn?
Matt Flynn. Nice work, boys. You got it.
Kinda.
Well, you got it.
Yeah, because most of the guys, like someone guessed Vince Young. Vince Young didn't stay to he was a senior.
No.
Vince Young bolted. Normally, when you win a national title, you're like deuces, I'm gone. So you knew it had to be someone that wasn't great.
I like the guy that
Otherwise,
guessed Peyton Manning. Like,
Peyton never.
hello, he
never
didn't even
won.
win the SEC, did he?
I don't think he ever won the SEC. The
He
funny
didn't
thing
win a
about
title.
Peyton Manning is the year after Peyton Manning left, they won
That's
the
when they
whole
won.
damn thing with T. Martin.
And Peerless Price.
Yeah, they beat Florida State. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was the first ever BCS championship.
So Penn State hasn't beaten a top 10 team in Happy Valley in 9 years.
Yeah, Franklin's record against top
And
teams
his-
is dreadful.
We talked about that
4
yesterday.
and 20 or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's not
He's
good.
4-20 against the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's typically Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah.
But Aller, 5-7 in his career
Mhm.
at Penn State against top 25 teams.
Well,
Not very good.
No, I have watched Penn State. They've played Nevada, Florida International, and Villanova. And they've won those games handily. 46-11, 34-0, 52-6. I'm telling you, watching those games, every one of those you will leave thinking that Penn State is something's off. They have not, even though those scores are lopsided, they're one of the worst third down teams in the Big Ten. Drew Aller only has 4 touchdowns on the year, and their offense kind of gets ground down at times. It doesn't really look that impressive. And so you look at the numbers and you figure out it's just patsies and they're blowing people out. And by the way, he may be pressing, they may just be like holding stuff back because these are slappy teams that they don't have to break out anything. But this is what I say about Oregon. In the first 2 weeks, Oregon looked better than anyone in the country. The last 2 weeks, Oregon looks as good as the other teams around the country. Because a lot of these teams have kind of scuffled along like Penn State. What I know about Oregon is I know Oregon's top end is scary good. What I don't know is what's Penn State's top end because I haven't seen it. Even against Villanova, the 52-6, I'm telling you, it wasn't like this absolutely dominating performance.
It didn't look that good. They got stopped on some 3rd and 4th and shorts. It looked weird. It was
So it's just one of those things. Does Penn State have another year and it comes out against Oregon? Or is this another year where Penn State's really good and they're not as good as the elite teams? Like, I mean, I go back to the Big Ten title game. Now, that did come down to one possession. Remember, we had the interception. I forget who made the interception on the
Nico
sidelines.
Reed.
Nico Reed. But, and that was an 8-point game with Penn State driving with a chance to tie it. So I have no doubt that this is going to be a good game. Penn State has to prove it to me. You have to prove that you are at this level. And there's nothing I've seen this year from those 3 games that lead me to believe that they are.
I think there's a lot of people that feel that way about Penn State,
Yeah.
including probably Penn State fans.
Well, and
I
Drew
mean-
Aller, I mean, you just said it. He's like, I don't know, I'm pressing right now.
Well, they have to win this game.
Yeah.
I mean, Penn State this is such a bigger game for Penn State than it is Oregon,
Yes.
in my opinion. And that's
Couldn't
just
agree more.
that's another reason why I feel like, I don't know. I just think Oregon is they're in a tough spot here.
Yeah.
Because Penn State, after Oregon, again, they're hosting number 6. They've got this label that they never beat top 10 teams. Well, after Oregon, they play UCLA Northwestern, but then they have to travel to Iowa, at Ohio State, who is currently ranked number 1, and then they host Indiana.
Yeah.
So if they don't win this, they're in real danger of missing the playoffs should they stumble in 2 of those 3 tough games in a row there, mid-October through early November.
Yeah. And
that's assuming they don't stumble anywhere else.
yeah. And look, I'm not trying to sit here and crap all over Penn State. I just need to see it.
Whereas Oregon, I think Oregon, if you look at their schedule, I think a lot of people, some people maybe even chalk this game up. Okay, might lose that game.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, Happy
Yeah.
Valley. early in the season. Okay, after that,
Yeah.
where do you see Oregon losing?
It's
Unless,
Indiana, SC, and UW are the only other
Yeah.
games that would.
and Indiana and USC are at home,
Yeah.
and UW is not ranked.
Yes. Well, the thing about Oregon too is you can lose 2 games.
Exactly.
So
That's what I'm saying about. That's why Penn State
Seems-
really
yes.
needs this game,
Yeah.
because they could only lose 2 games if they
Yeah.
want to go to the playoff.
yes.
And boy, if you're saying that they're gonna lose to Oregon
Mhm.
and then not stumble but one other time with
Yeah.
that schedule,
It's tough.
I don't know.
It's tough. I just think the other one I want to see is in every one of these big games. And again, Lanning's only been there a handful of years. In the big games, whether it's Georgia, whether it was the Big Ten title game, whether it was both Ohio State games, you know what has not shown up in any of these games? It's Oregon's defense. They just haven't.
Well, what's the stat that Dan Lanning hasn't lost with the Ducks when they
32.
allow 34 or less points?
It's something like that. It's
Yeah.
32, 33. Even in the Ohio State game last year at Autzen,
So if you hold them to 30, you
Well,
win.
Is it possible that they just don't have an elite defense and never have?
it's possible.
Maybe.
I mean, there is this label. Like, I feel like we get a little lost in Oregon football up here. The rest of the country, Oregon has a lot of prove it as well.
Sure.
Maybe not on the Penn State level. James
Yeah.
Franklin has really struggled against top 10 teams, but I mean, and everybody likes Dan Lanning. He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
But, dude, I mean, like I said, in the true road games, top 25 road games, he is 1-2.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
All I
He
know
got
is-
smoked in the playoff last year
Yes.
by Ohio State.
And look, your offense struggled in that until the second half. I guess,
They gave up 37 points in the Big Ten title game to Penn State.
and that's what I'm saying. And they gave up 500 plus yards. So what I want to see, win or lose, is this is supposed to kind of, again, culmination of everything. You know, transfer portal and 4 years of recruiting. This is supposed to be an elite defense. And I want to see it just once in one of these games. Look, if you end up losing 24-27, I can live with that. What I don't want to see is a win or a loss and have it be 42-38. Because that's the one where I'm going to look at this and be like, yeah, I know they're good. Are they good enough?
Can they stop somebody when it counts?
Yes. And by the way, next week after Penn State, there's another one coming.
Yeah.
Indiana's offense is going to test you more than Penn
They're
State's
humming.
offense. So
Signetti doesn't care either.
yeah, oh no, he gonna throw it all over, and they really challenge you in a lot of different ways. So
Google me, bitch.
I just think this is such a fun game for all those different reasons. I think Penn State is going to try to bully Oregon. If you want to try to nitpick one thing about Oregon is the defensive line, I'm not sure about it. Northwestern ran them out of their base defense. Oregon wants to play that 4-2-5. They want to play that nickel. Northwestern ran them out of it.
Well, you'll find out
And
this weekend.
something tells me that Penn State, and then you saw the Oregon State drive, the one drive they had, Penn State is going to line up and they are going to try to bully
Yep.
Oregon and then try to take shots over the shorts.
Taking
take
shorts
shots
down?
Ooh. Over the top with Drew
Well, I
Aller.
think it becomes about red zone.
Yeah.
You know,
And I'll tell you what, from watching Penn State has been horrific in
Yeah,
the red zone
they are
and
they're
horrific in situational football.
They're
third
like
and fourth and short.
85th in red zone percentage.
It is so weird. And they like
So that's where I go back to Oregon's defense, and I think, well, they probably will get run on some,
yeah,
but you
bow the back.
bow up in the red zone.
Yep.
That's the key right there. You
Yep.
can win that game. You can give up a lot of yards in this game.
Yeah.
Bow up in the red zone because Penn State, Penn State, that's not we just said they're not a great red zone team.
Nope.
And they just have a history in these games of kind of
Shooting themselves in the foot.
like instead it should be up 14-3, instead it's 6-3 or something.
Well, and
like
remember, they lost to Ohio State basically. Why? Because they couldn't punch it in. And also, too, for as dynamic as they're supposed to be, and I know they have a really good offensive coordinator, again, watching them in situational football, it's amazing to me how bland and boring and simplistic they are. And it's almost like they want to prove something, like we're gonna do this basic thing and we're bigger and stronger than you. And you're trying that against lesser competition and it's not working. And that's the part, like if you can't
Yeah.
bully Nevada and Villanova in those situations, I'm not certain that they can bully Oregon.
But I thought, didn't we think that way about Penn State
And they punched them
going
right-
into the Big Ten title game last
Absolutely.
year, and their offense was pretty
Yeah,
good,
It was pretty good.
especially late.
Yeah.